But here's what happened.
Hey, everybody, welcome to McCrackenatMidnight. We're a little bit late, but it's okay because we just started. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
We're talking about the news.
As you know, we've been following the Bears, and we were joking, like, wouldn't it be funny if there was, like, a conspiracy of bears going on, you know?
Like the secret bear meetings.
But obviously that wasn't the case. Because you remember there was the bear on the Cape, but then there was the bear on Brookline, about a week ago.
For those of you not in Boston, Brookline is
a suburb of Boston
suburb
to the west. So there was a bear in Brookline, and they did what they usually do, which is it climbs up a tree and they tranquilize it and falls down to a cushion. Which, first of all, this was an 80-foot high tree.
Wow, he really must have climbed up that tree.
Yeah. Anyway, that's beside the point. As they were taking this bear in and relocating it, they realized it was the same fucking bear.
As the Cape Bear?
As the Cape Bear.
So the bear walked all the way, it was all the way up the Cape, and then it walked...
They caught it, they relocated to Central Mass, tagged it, and it came back to Brookline, and they're relocating it again.
So this bear has just been trying to get to Boston this whole time. You know what this means? This bear is coming for me. That's what this is meaning. It smells me, and it's coming for me.
Just like your nightmare.
Just like my nightmare. Oh, we didn't get attacked by a bear this weekend, though.
No, that was cool.
Yeah, that was nice.
You know, with all this stuff going on, Sam has had a recurring dream where me...
No. It's not a recurring dream. That's not the recurring dream. That is one in a series of dreams with the recurring theme of I'm constantly being chased by a bear and I can't escape it. In like many different settings, many different levels of fear, many different people involved. But usually the whole thing is that in some way I'm being followed or chased or tracked by a bear and I just can't escape it.
This recently not even recently, a few months ago, was myself, Sam, and Care actually got eaten by the bear.
Yeah, Brian ran up the hill like a smart person because apparently bears can't run up hills in my dreams. And me and Care were running. I jumped into a ditch just as Care got swiped to the left of me and was eaten.
So you actually saw her get eaten?
No. I just saw her. I remember it really clearly. She was running right to my left, and I just remember the bear claw, and she went down, and then I woke up.
So the bear saga continues. Bears all over the news, and it's actually seeming like the plot is thickening now because it's actually like they're planning or something. And I gotta imagine that maybe because there was the one bear in California that they caught it in a suburb, actually on a college campus, and they relocated, and that one got hit by a car. So maybe that was the first one, and it died, and then this one took over for them.
Yeah, maybe.
And all the other bears that have been caught elsewhere in the past few months, they've all been this bear too. He really fucking gets around, so I won't cut it. Anyway.
I wonder does this bear have a name yet?
They're coming up with one.
Okay, because they better come up with a good name or I'm going to be really, really mad.
They're working on it.
It better not be like Jimmy Fun Bear or something like that, because I'll just freak out. Anyway, do you like my picture? Look, it looks like an eyeball.
Okay, I do like it.
No, that's the back of my cue card.
Oh, well.
See, because they're my cue card.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, bear news. There's lots of bear stuff. But there's some other stuff going on in the world, too.
Barely, but...
Barely!
Oh, sorry about
Shoot. Recently, scientists finished kind of going over the past, 10 years of research from the Fermi particle accelerator in central Illinois. And they're getting closer and closer to discovering the Higgs boson particle, which they're currently trying to find at the Large Hadron Collider at CERN in Geneva, which is like the really big one that was supposed to end the world but didn't. Anyway, so they're working on discovering the Higgs boson particle, which is like this elusive, mysterious, they're calling it the God particle, because basically what it does is... it's this really complicated stuff, but basically what it is the confirmation that everything we thought was true is true in terms of why objects have mass. Basically how the universe holds itself together. Because if you think about it, it's pretty crazy that it's all just a bunch of atoms, floating around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, this Higgs boson kind of, I don't know how, but aids in the development of the theory of electromagnetic and nuclear interactions between subatomic particles.
So this is real, like nature of the universe type shit going down.
Yeah, which is really cool. So the Fermi Collider, you know, the way they detect it, they can't actually see the Higgs boson, which is why they haven't discovered it yet. Though they detect it by finding the pathways of decayed subatomic particles it's left in its wake. Like because that's what it decays the bonds between subatomic particles, and that's how they find like its shadow. Or
so it's the Higgs boson is in fact a subatomic particle.
Yes, it is. It is a boson particle that's supposed to be like it's like weird and it's like above the rest of the particles. I wish I could explain this better, but it's really it's very.
So
wordy.
It's a piece of an atom. Or is it
it's not a piece of an atom.
It exists separately.
Yeah, it exists separately from.
So
atoms.
It's not strictly matter.
Well, no, it's matter.
Okay.
It's just not.
So there's matter that's not atoms in the universe. If you had enough of them, like trillions and quadrillions, you could have a pile of Higgs boson.
Yeah, it probably makes up atoms at some point. Yeah, I mean, I don't totally know how it works. I don't know. It's very complex.
Like if you got all the Higgs boson particles in the universe, could you have could you snort a line of Higgs boson?
I have no idea.
Because that would be awesome.
You'd have to ask a real scientist.
Whatever.
That was the cue for the scientist to come up behind us, but he didn't. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty cool.
Actually, he did. There, I can see him. Right there.
Oh, hey, man. Anyway,
it's actually a little delayed, so we
got like a delay and then a delay and then a delay.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Anyway, so yeah, that's that shit. In other news, Twitter is kind of cool right now. You know, Twitter is like a really cool thing. I use it. Other people I know use it. Brian has.
Hold on, there's an ad.
Oh, there's an ad, everybody. I'm gonna keep talking anyway, just about nothingness, just in case. Well, because there are no ads on YouTube, so.
Oh fuck yeah.
Okay, anyway, so in other news, Twitter is really cool right now. Twitter, a lot of people use it, and it's really awesome because you can just like post your thoughts and ideas and random dealings of pooping and eating and walking and whatnot. And you know, it's like it's you know similar to Facebook and social in a social networking fashion, but it is better than Facebook. Not just in its use. I mean, it has a very different use, but it is officially better than Facebook in that it is not so dumb.
And just in the way it's run.
Just in the way it's run.
You know, we talked about last week Facebook changing everyone's email addresses to the Facebook emails, which is mad douchey, and Twitter.
And it's been causing a ton of problems, too.
Twitter isn't pulling shit like that on people. It has much more respect for people's privacy.
And integrity as a resource for people.
And that ties into what's going on now.
So, October 1st, during the Occupy movement, a man named Malcolm Harris was one of the leaders in the march across the Brooklyn Bridge on October 1st in the Occupy movement. And he, among many, many, many other activists on that day, were arrested by the NYPD. Malcolm Harris claimed that he had no idea that the police didn't want him to be there, holding up traffic, and the police were like, no, we told you that we didn't want you there because we didn't want you to stop traffic. And so, you know, they're prosecuting him for, I don't know exactly what or why, but they're prosecuting him for something, unlawful protest or something. And the lawyers are like, they subpoenaed Twitter to give them this guy's tweets,
which allegedly said that he did know that the cops were going to try and stop him.
Yeah, and he was like, they went ahead with it anyway. So the court subpoenaed Twitter, and basically I wrote the quote down. Twitter said no. They said Twitter's terms of service make it absolutely clear that its users own their own content. Our filing with the court reaffirms our steadfast commitment to defending those rights for our users, which is awesome.
So it's unlawful search and seizure is what they're saying.
Exactly.
It's the wider scope of this, aside from just is something that you've posted on the internet, property in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, this is this whole topic. I mean, besides it just being Twitter is cool and like this is like a total awesome thing going against the courts in this way and like a social media thing doing that, a conglomerate doing that. It's that it really brings up the conversation of intellectual property and what that means in words on a place where you sign up for something. Besides it just being, it's not. Right now, it's not just like music that you're putting on the internet.
It's not like it's your website. It's someone else's website with your information.
With your content. So you're supplying the content, and this brings up the question of who actually owns that content, which is just a whole nother area of ideas, because it's really just words. You know what I mean? It's not a photograph or anything like that. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, much more will probably be heard about this because the actual case isn't set until December 1st. Which means this could either, die pretty soon or go up really amazingly and like people will talk about it for a long time, which could turn into something really cool. How's everybody doing in the comments down there? 6 viewers / 5 viewers because we're one of them. The best part, as soon as they started back to awesome. Thank you, Ustreamer 702626. Also you. Incorrect spelling, Ustreamer 419637.
Sorry, I'll stop. What did they say? Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. It's not misspelled. They're just German.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, it's mad awesome.
It's awesome.
What else is going on in the news?
That's all the news.
Well, time for the sports then. Aren't we like a real short? We're like a real. And by the way, sports is pretty much just Red Sox. Yeah. We don't give a fuck about anything else.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, the Red Sox right now are doing pretty good.
Which is weird.
It's awesome. They're in 3rd place right now. 42 and 37 right now. They're a half game behind the Orioles in 2nd place.
Who have no business being up there.
Yeah, because the Orioles suck. And they're 6 total games behind the Yankees, who are in 1st.
Which is a lot, granted.
But not actually that much. I mean, that's fine. That's not a big gap.
That could turn around in a week.
That is not in any way the end of the season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're doing really awesome. They're in a series against the A's right now. The Oakland A's are playing at the Oakland Coliseum as we speak.
Yeah, right now is in
are
right now.
Losing 6-1.
Never mind. Whatever. It's still cool. They trade. You kill us.
You kill us.
Who they trade him for?
They traded him for, I don't remember their names. Lilbrook, and someone else. No, not Lilbrook. Whatever. A relief pitcher and a utility player.
Littlefoot and Mr. Relief.
And the reason they did this was a couple weeks ago. The reason they did was so that they could get their, who I think is awesome, Will Middlebrook. What are you doing?
I'm picking my toenail. Just keep going.
Gross. They did this so they could get Will Middlebrook up on 3rd base and get him a permanent star on the roster. But it's interesting that he was doing really good while Youkilis was there, and as soon as the trade happened, his in-game, what do you call it?
He dropped from a
3.30 something to a 1.0 something.
Yeah.
In his average.
He panicked having to fill Youkilis' shoes.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't fucking do that.
Yeah, and I mean,
and fell apart.
He's a pretty good guy, and I think he's pretty well on his way to contender for Rookie of the Year. But last night during their series against Seattle Mariners, apparently in the 9th inning, he injured his hamstring, and now he may be out on the DLS. I don't know for how long. I don't even know if he's playing tonight.
Hamstrings fuck you up, dude.
I know, they really do. Anyway, that's that. That's those sports. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to go on to some other sports.
We're going
to go on to some other sports. And that is sports of Brian and myself in a segment we like to call Brian and Sam Play Sports.
Finally, right? It's been weeks we've been trying to do this, but we finally did it.
Hooray!
Yeah!
Yeah, so we're going to play this video. Hopefully it all works out the way I want it to. Enjoy, I think. Hopefully.
You throw it, right?
You kick it? Oh, that was a really good throw, Brian.
Dude, I know what I'm doing.
That was a really good throw.
This is actually like one of the...
Hey everybody, it's us. So this is our first segment of Brian and Sam Play Sports, and today we're playing Frisbee because we couldn't think of anything else.
Because we had a Frisbee lying around on our dining room table.
This might not be as hilarious as you thought it was going to be.
Now, one of the big parts of Sam and Brian's Play Sports now and always in the future is trying to decide if we suck or not at said sport. Now, how are you at Frisbee?
I think I'm okay at Frisbee, but it usually takes me a little time to get into it. So, we'll see. Because
we'll see how this goes.
I'm really good at all sports. And so, I'm probably just a natural and I can't remember.
Alright, let's do it then.
Hey, I can be the answer. I'm ready to dance when the vamp up. Then when I hit that dip, get your camera. You can see you in that bitch, shit's the camper. In the DM, that young sister beacon. The bitch who wants to compete. And I can freak fit that pump with the peep. And you know what your bitch become when her weepin'. I just wanna sip that punch with your peeps. And sit in that lunch if you're treatin'. Kick it with your bitch who come from Parisian. She know where to get mine from in the season. Now she wanna lick my plum in the evening. And fit that tongue to deepen. I guess that can't get any in. 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 I was in a 2-on-2 on the uptown, hey nigga, you know what's up or don't you? Word of who made ya? I'm a rude bitch, nigga, what are you made up of? I'ma eat your food up, boo, I could bust your 8, I'ma do 1, 2, fuck it, gun do. When you do make bucks, I'ma look right, nigga, bet you do 1, 2, fuck.
This dude looks like a dork. Look at him.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty dorky looking Frisbee player.
He looks like he's dancing while serving drinks.
Fuck 'em like you do want to come. You gated, get discovered, I'm a 2-1 deuce cock. I'm licking in the water by the blue bayou. Caught the warm goose, and you do rag too, son. Nigga, you're a cool dude. Plus your bitch might lick it. Wonder who let you come to 1-2. What you do to crew, son? Fuck are you into, huh? Niggas better run. You could get shot, homie, if you do want to. Put your guns up, tell your crew don't front. I'm a hoodlum, nigga, you know you were 2-1s. Bitch, I'm about to blue up too. I'm the 1-2 day. I'm the new Shifu, young Rapunzel. Who are you, bitch? New lunch? I'ma ruin you, cunt. I'ma ruin you, cunt. Ayo, I heard you riding with the same tall talent. I'm your mason. Saying you're grinding, but you ain't going nowhere. No, why you procrastinating, girl? You got a lot, but you just waste all yourself. They all forget your name soon. And don't nobody be the thing but yourself, yeah.
What's the ruling on Frisbee?
Well, I think we proved ourselves with our first couple of passes that we're really better than anybody else there is.
Yeah.
But then we started getting weird. I mean, I like it when it gets weird.
Yeah.
But we didn't do so well then.
Well, it was boring before.
It was boring. Frisbee is boring. Final thing.
Frisbee is boring unless
there's like 20 people
just hanging out of a tree.
Or multiple Frisbees.
What you got to when I ain't there? When I ain't premiere? Bitch, the ends of your life in there. This shit been mine. What you got to when I ain't there? When I ain't premiere? Bitch, the ends of your life in there. This shit been mine. Bitch, I'm in the 2-1-2 with the 5th cock, nigga. It's the 2-1-2. Fuck your gun, you. When your goon sprayed up, bet this bitch won't get him. Bet you won't do much. See, even if you do want to bust, you bitch, you get your cut and touch your crew up too. Pop, you playing with your butter like a boo, won't you? Cock the gun too. Where you do eat coon, hun? I'm fucking with your cutie cue. What's your dick like, homie? What are you into? What's the run, dude? Where do you wake up? Tell your bitch keep hating. I'm a new one too, huh? See, I remember you when you were the young new face. But you do like to slumber, don't you? Now you boo up too, hun. I'ma ruin you, cunt. What you want to when I ain't appear? When I ain't prepare? Bitch, the end of your life in there. This shit been mine. What you gonna do when I ain't appear? When I ain't prepare? Bitch, the end of your life in there. This shit been mine. This shit been mine.
Roll! I'll catch it while I roll! Oh, I caught it!
Oh.
Oh, he rolled when did you see that? He rolled.
Caught it.
Oh.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for watching that.
Yeah.
Um.
So yeah, frisbee was this week.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best thing we've come up with, but next week is gonna be hurling, which I can actually play a little bit.
I don't even know how.
I'm gonna teach Sam a little about it.
Yeah.
It's the violent Celtic sport. It's really fun. So what's next?
Before we go on, I'd just like to wish a happy birthday to Tyler Brisson.
To Tragwag. It's Tragwag's birthday.
Our friend in Connecticut, dating the wonderful Chelsea Maida. Happy birthday, friend. I think you're 22 or 23 today.
Sounds about right.
Happy birthday.
That's hot. Okay. You know the happy birthday song is copyrighted?
I know, it's owned by the representatives of Mrs. and Mrs. or Miss and Miss, I don't remember their name. Some two old biddies from like the 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Costs like $2,000 to use it on TV or whatever. Which is ridiculous!
Mm.
It was in some show. It was in Sports Night. He sings it on the thing, and he's like telling everybody, like, yeah, now I gotta pay like $1,200 to the people. And they're like, they needed 2 people to write that song?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
What else is up?
Art and stuff. Talking about art and stuff. Brian, go.
What the fuck? I don't know.
No, it says right there.
Oh, yeah. Well, check this out. The other day,
this is the new format of art and stuff.
We were going to, what's the new format?
Just talking.
Oh, yeah. The other day, me and Sam were talking about music. And we were music, particularly in Boston. And then we were talking about, again, a couple days before that. And then again yesterday with Peter from Melodigo.
Again yesterday, and then again last night, rather than this morning at 2 a.m.
And then constantly, basically, because this is what's on everyone's minds right now. Basically, music is awful in Boston. Not the music. The music community has been...
The music is just horrible.
Just dying. Like, Middle East sucks. And the church club is...
Oh, no, an advertisement maybe.
What? Oh.
I'm singing a song about advertisements. They written some. McDonald's is a place where you can buy some Coca-Cola for $1. 2 seconds, 1 second.
Oh, dude,
we're back. Anyway. Yeah, you can put shadows up there.
Except that I don't know how to do any cool
It's nice. Okay, go on.
I can have him eating my head. So yeah. Church is like a stone's throw away from going out of business, and the fuckface who books at Middle East and who is taking over there, and that same guy used to book at Harper's Ferry in Alston, and that place got closed down. That place was dumb, and it's basically the way these guys book. Most places that'll just book bands at them. They're like, okay, we'll book anyone. Like, call us, come play here, and get people to come and drink beer. And if like there's people drinking in their bar, they don't give a shit about promoting music. You need to promote your own show. They usually don't want you if you've played in the past 3 weeks or will be playing in the next 3 weeks in the area because they think you won't be a draw. And there's just no attention paid to creating a music community. Pretty much, I've been to shows where they're just 4 completely different kinds of bands with completely different kinds of crowds, which sounds cool because you think like, oh, people mingling, but like, no, those crowds aren't interested in the other bands, so people will come, they see their friend's band, and then they leave. And they're just like, there's no way to build an audience that way. There's no way to meet new people that way. And then the booking agencies, like the promoters in Boston, I remember when we played one show with Here Now Live, who are one of the biggest promotion groups in Boston, and they basically, you could call a club and say, hey, I want to play at your club, and they'll say, okay, yeah, you're playing this night. And if you get in touch with Here Now Live, what you call them, you say, hey, we want to book a show through you, as a promoter, and they say, okay. And then they call the club and they say, this band wants to play. And they'll book you. So it's just the same exact thing with another phone call. It sucks. So, I was in a band for several years trying to build an audience in Boston, and we never, ever, ever, ever did. Because we were playing in bars and stuff. And now, that scene is dying, and just in the past few years, the house party scene in Boston, the basement venue scene, has just exploded. And it's unbelievably awesome, because people are sick of not having any place to play. And, like, we were at a show the other night, and it was like, oh, this guy, I know him, I've seen him before, and now I'm talking to him, and he knows all these other people who I know, and he's looking for a drummer, and I know a guy, and then we're going to that show, and then we're going to one show.
The crow should fly again.
Yes, it should. It absolutely should. We're going to actually have a reunion show here at the Monkey Palace, which we do have shows here all the time. As a matter of fact, I think we're having one a week from next Friday.
A week from next Friday. Anyway, go on with the story.
It was just really cool. I was like, wow, there's a music community, like a cohesive music community for the first time in Boston in years. And it's completely run by, it's completely unprofessionally run. Bands that are making their entire careers just playing in people's basements. And it's awesome. I mean, we pay bands that are touring through. We actually make more money for bands here in our basement than like we ever did playing in bars in Boston. And these are bands on tour who need support, and they're coming here and they're selling albums and they're getting gas money. And what the hell more can a bunch of college kids want on tour,
It's really interesting for me because, I grew up in a place where there wasn't a lot of just local music, you know what I mean? It wasn't. I grew up in the suburbs where this sort of thing didn't really happen.
So did I. I mean, we had tried to have shows and houses and stuff. But it didn't work.
Well, I know, but you were right in your. Well, I mean, any real music scene at all, like any kind. I mean, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, like ultimate suburbs of Northern Virginia, outside of D.C., where there was music in D.C., but if you were underage, it was hard to get in there. Yeah. Just because it's D.C. and it's not a hip town.
Rejected Radio. Rejected Radio reunion. I think that's what we should do.
Anyway, so it's really interesting for me because, even when I came to Boston 4 years ago, you do.
Go on, it's hot down here.
Brian's rolling up his pants right now, pretty high.
They're already shorts now.
The end of his penis is hanging out a little bit. Anyway, I mean, when I came here to Boston 4 years ago, I really didn't even know that much about the music scene. And now that I'm actually finally getting into it, just being here at the Monkey Palace and stuff, like I've been to a couple of house shows. I've been to shows at like Paradise and Middle East and Church and things like that, but only a handful of times. And now that I'm really getting into it, like I'm kind of my firsthand experience is coming from solely the basement scene. Like I'm coming into it. I'm losing my music community virginity to the basement scene rather than the, what do you call it, commercial scene.
Yeah.
So that, I think that's pretty cool. It's.
And this isn't just us at the Monkey Palace running ourselves too. There's so many good places in Boston right now. Shop, unfortunately, is closing down, but they're having a few last hurrah shows in the next few months, and they're going to try and find a new place. Mothership just closed down. That's the only problem with these, is they're very transient. They only
it's a bunch of college kids.
They only exist for a few years. Wadsdale doesn't exist anymore. But and 21 Gun should play too. But Butcher Shop has been around very long. That's cool. And they're still here. Alsto and Alston is the borough where we were the other day. So there's tons of cool places. And support local music. And move into a place with a basement where you can have shows. Because anyone can do it. We had no fucking clue what we were doing when we started this place.
Which was apparent. That was very apparent.
Yeah.
But it's turned into something that is cohesive and extremely valid as an actual venue. And is attracting more and more people.
Yeah.
Like, all the time.
Yeah. We can't, handle the people that we get here.
Yeah.
It's awesome, though. It's great. My roommate's over here laughing.
Hey.
Anyway, point is, support local music and local junk. Sam, you gonna say something? I mean, I just had to say shit. I don't really have a thesis to it. Sam might have something more interesting. What do you want to say, Sam?
I'm debating whether to talk about that. I mean, we have the time, but I'm debating whether to save that for next week to talk about it now.
What are we gonna do for 20 minutes?
Okay, fine. I'll talk about it. So I'm going to talk about comic books really quickly. That was more of the stuff segment. I mean, music is art, but that was more of kind of the stuff segment. I'm going to talk much more about art as in a fine art context now, but not actually. Anyway, comic books. Comic books get a bad rap a lot of the time because, first of all, people associate them with dweeby, nerdy people. Which is dumb.
Which
because,
is true, but there's nothing wrong with
it's actually, I mean, it's true a lot of times, but I know many very, very, very attractive women that read comic books pretty frequently, as well as my roommate, who is a currently highly successful comic book artist for Dark Horse Comics, is in no way, I mean, he's a nerd on the inside, but he is a tall, beefy, like, really built guy. Not very nerdy looking. Not a dweeb at all. Anyway, so, like, comic books get a bad rap because of that. Comic books also get a bad rap just because people are like, I'll just read a book, or I'll just watch a movie, or, like, you gotta read it week to week, that's stupid, or something like that, you know what I mean? But, like, this whole idea of mine comes out of my dad's idea that, my dad's opinion that comic books just don't have any real worth, because you can read those, they're cheap stories that you could read in a book. And the pictures usually aren't very good. And why would you look at pictures?
Awesome.
This isn't my opinion. The words, you can just, why would you look at pictures when you just read the words? That's kind of my dad's take on it. And I made him read a bunch of stuff before I left home. Like, I made him try and read some things, and he was just like, yeah, I just don't really get it. But my argument for it all, the legitimacy of comics in the world of art is that they are more than just, in the same way that a good novel, in the same way that 100 Years of Solitude or freaking, like, Don Quixote is more than just a book. It's it's a work of art. It's a piece of literature. Comic books are kind of, they don't have the same, like, type of legitimacy as that, in that each individual piece in itself is a work of art. But, I may be wrong on this, and this is where I need you to jump in. The way I think about comics...
Prove you wrong?
Yeah,
that's right.
Or prove me right, hopefully. Is that comics, I'm pretty sure, are one of the only visual representations of the passage of time in artwork. Not as in an art movement, but, since the 1920s and before that, comic books have been consistently developing and evolving with culture and art just throughout time. A single continuous representation of the progress of art and culture in an art form. Visual art form.
I would say that exactly the opposite is very much true, and that every art form is.
Well, but but think about, like, Spider-Man.
Yeah?
Since 1950 something, since 1957 or 61 or whatever, it's been one single line the whole time. It's been 700 issues of a single comic.
Pretty
Same with Superman, 700 issues of a single comic.
That's impressive.
And it's been this continuous representation of these things through time. It's like you can see the progress through time. Like, you can look at the whole span of time in just this one thing.
That's pretty cool. You're right. I wouldn't say it's the only thing that's done that, though.
Well, again, I'm talking about, like, really continuous, not just like there are movements of art and you can go from movement to movement. I don't mean like that. Because you can see the passage, the evolution of culture and art practice.
So, the first thing my mind jumps to is to say James Bond did that. But it's different.
That's fair, but it is different. It is only different because James Bond is books first. That's the only reason I'm saying that. Okay. But you're right. You're absolutely right. James Bond is that sort of thing, and that's you're really right. That is the same sort of idea. But think of another movie that's done that. You know what I mean? Like
Godzilla. We were watching it tonight.
Okay, yeah, all right, Godzilla.
Actually, well, Godzilla again has basically they've had several reboots.
Yeah.
It's several different canons, but Spider-Man has to have. I mean.
No, but it's all the same story. It's all the same thing.
I guess.
DC comic, Superman. I mean, yeah, he was different in the beginning. They rebooted him a little bit, but it's the same thing. And it's not a series. Godzilla has gaps. Like, when was the last... Godzilla has existed for this whole time, but it's not...
What are you going to ask? You were going to ask a Godzilla question about days. Ask me.
No, it's... Godzilla isn't monthly, is what I was going to say.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my legitimacy of comics in the art world. Comics are valuable in that we can record the passage of history in them.
I wouldn't even go that far out of my, to... I wouldn't even need that elaborate of a reason to try and legitimize me as a...
Well, I don't need to legitimize them, because I like them. But my father hates them, apparently.
Yeah,
so.
well, there are plenty of people who hate all kinds of art.
They're idiots.
I hate all kinds of art.
Talk about Dark Knight or The Hobbit. Are you ordering us to do that, or?
I'm gonna say right off the bat, I am nervous about The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Lewis agrees. It took me a long time to admit that I didn't like Peter Jackson's King Kong. Like, I was like, nah, it was great, because Peter Jackson made it as King Kong. But then I was like, nah, man, it sucked.
I like Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Dude, it was all wrong. It was all wrong. And you see, the thing is, Jack Black's like my favorite dude ever. But, like, he was all wrong, unfortunately. Oh,
advertisement! It's McDonald's again! McDonald's is a thing! Anyway, I liked Peter Jackson's King Kong. I mean, it was different from King. It was a reinterpretation of King Kong, but I liked it.
It was. I mean, the thing. Okay.
You can say they did it wrong, or you could say they did it differently.
They did it differently, but let me tell you. Here's the thing: is Lord of the Rings were great because they were just the scale.
It was long.
It was long.
I liked it. It was long.
3 words. It was long. I couldn't have said it better myself. Because let me tell you, Lord of the Rings was great because it had this unbelievable scope to it. And the thing was, like, that Peter Jackson has said, like, oh, that's my thing now, making gigantic movies. I'm not just talking about long, sure, it was 3.5 hours or whatever. That's one thing, but, like, everything in Lord of the Rings was just this unbelievable scale. Just the production, the fact that they were building these gigantic models and writing new program, all this new technology that they had. It was like everything just took it to the next level in every way. And the style was directed, and the process they went through to shoot it, and just the visuals, and the way it was shot, and just everything was just enormous. It was an epic movie. It was a fucking
all the people were giants. Even the hobbits were like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, they just shot it weird, so they looked like they were normal size.
They were on Jupiter.
They only cast people who were over 7 feet tall. In that movie, I don't know if you knew that. So the thing is, then he took that on to King Kong, and it didn't fit, but he just shoved it all in there. The fucking scene, like, okay, it's like, oh, cool, the T-Rex fight, like, that was great, and like, shooting that with new technology, and with new cinema techniques would have been great to just, like, see King Kong rebooted in a more modern context, more fully realized. That's what you do. When you remake a movie, especially a legendary movie like King Kong, it should be a further realizing what it was originally meant to be. And that, I felt like he went there and then just went too far. Because, like, oh, cool, the T-Rex fight. And then they're fucking fighting where they're falling.
Dude, that was awesome. Are you kidding me?
It was too much.
It was not too much. I thought, no, it was, you're incorrect. You're looking at it from the standards of what a story like that originally was. You got to look at it as something completely different. I mean, you can can say he did it wrong, or you can say it's a different movie.
Well, okay, I would like it less if it hadn't already been King Kong. How about that?
Interesting.
If it was just a new movie, I would just be like, "This is dumb." And then since the thing is,
I don't believe you at all. But there
were a lot of things that he improved upon. I'll definitely say that. I think there was like, I wanted to. Okay, perfect example. You say there should be more of a relationship between. What was her name? The chick in King Kong. What the hell was her name?
Remember.
Wow, I'm dumb. Anyway, the chick, the King Kong babe, and her name was not.
It was not
FPS.
48 frames per second.
No, her name was 48 frames per second.
Hang on, go on.
Anyway.
This person's really trying to get us to talk about The Hobbit.
Okay. Well, we're getting to The Hobbit. So, his relationship with the chick should be, deeper. Because he says, was beauty killed the beast? And you're like, well, really? I didn't see much of that. So, they built this up where they liked each other. But then, oh, fuck, they're ice skating together. Give me a break. They should have stopped developing that a lot earlier. Because he just went too far with everything.
Yeah, I mean, that was too far.
And I feel like he did it the whole movie.
King Kong, babe, that is her name.
Now, The Hobbit compared to Lord of the Rings, they're not like the same story. They're based in the same world, but The Hobbit wasn't an epic in the same way that the Lord of the Rings trilogy was. It was more of a fairy tale, and it had some pretty intense moments. The battle at the end is crazy, and that's the whole idea. That quaint little hobbit is getting out into this big, scary, horrible world. So there's room for some of that kind of stuff, his visual style and his just directing style.
Oh, absolutely. There's tons of room for that.
There's tons of room for it, but I don't know. I'm just worried that Peter Jackson is Peter Jacksoning so hard at this point in his career. I don't know when the fuck
Jacksoning all over the place!
When was the last movie he even made?
He was the producer of District 9. He was on, I don't remember. I don't think he's directed any. I can't remember.
Well, anyway, I'm excited for it. Don't get me wrong. I am excited for The Hobbit. But I'm apprehensive. I'm hoping he does it right.
You know what? Yeah. It's 2 movies, which is a little frightening.
Holy shit, look how skinny he got.
I know, right?
What, it's 2 movies?
Yeah, it's 2 movies.
That's not fucking necessary.
Yeah, The Hobbit and An Unexpected Journey, and then The Hobbit there and back. No, I think it really is necessary. Have you read The Hobbit recently?
I've read it 4 or 5 times.
Have you read it recently? Have you read it since you were 20?
No.
Have you read it since you were 18?
No.
It's long.
It's long.
It's a thick book. It's a story-loaded book. There is plenty of room.
Think
of
all the shit movies. They cut out of Lord of the Rings though, because they were like, we just can't do all this.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. There was that was 3 movies because it was 3 books, and in this one, he doesn't have to cut all that stuff out.
Well, apparently he does if you can't put it in one movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He can't put it all in one movie, so he's putting it in 2 because there is so much. He's not cutting anything out. That's the thing.
See, that already confirms what I'm saying. I'm like, he doesn't know how to edit himself. That's no good. And there was shit in Lord of the Rings that you could have done without. I don't think he knows how to hold himself back. It's like, okay, let's watch this Hobbit's face as he's almost crying in slow motion for another 5 minutes. It's like, even Lord of the Rings, if you really think about it critically, it was unrefined in a lot of ways that.
I don't know. I understand what you're saying.
The fact that he can't even fit that book into one fucking movie, because it's long, but it's a cohesive story. It's beginning, middle, end. You see
listen, I get what you're saying, but in the style of filmmaking today, it's not following the book exactly, but that's just his style of film. That's literally his style of filmmaking. All those added things that were in Lord of the Rings that maybe hardcore fans of the books were like, that wasn't in the book. It's his style of filmmaking. He added little things and some big things, but he added things in order to make it a film and not just a replication of the book in visual form.
That's not. That's not him. That's what happens when you got to make books out of movies. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking. Yeah, I'm not talking about making changes to the book. I'm saying he almost should have made more changes to the book. He doesn't know what I don't know.
I don't know what that even means.
I mean, okay. Think of this too. Think of this. The Hobbit. It's a book. It has, it has a story arc to it. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So if you cut it off in the middle, you're gonna have, it's gonna be like an incomplete arc in both of those movies. It's gonna feel like the first half of one movie and the second half of another movie.
That's exactly what it's gonna feel like. That's exactly what it's gonna feel like.
That's dumb.
Okay.
You're making me more nervous than I already was.
A perfect example of this is the last Harry Potter book. They did that in 2 movies, and it worked awesomely.
Okay.
It worked super well because,
yes, it did.
Like The Hobbit, the tone of the first half of the book is very different from the tone of the second half of the book. The tone of the first half of the book is much more about adventure and like getting out there and doing weird shit. The second half of the book is a war. You know what I mean? Like they're 2 very different halves. And it's the same with pretty much the exact same.
The war isn't a whole half of it.
Well, no, it's not a whole half of it, but it's much more of like it still does have the adventure in it, but it's much more of like. Well, I mean, the war's a big part of it. It's like build up to that. The flotsam and jetsam and all that stuff.
Why do you look so much taller than me?
Because you're sitting like 6 inches below me.
Okay, whatever.
Because I'm taller than you.
So
Brian.
There you have it.
Because my torso is super long.
There you have it. Sam thinks the Hobbit's gonna be cool.
Listen. I'm also very nervous about The Hobbit because it could severely get fucked up. No, I'm not in any way excited for it because I don't want to be because I don't want it to ruin anything.
Wait, what did Naomi Watts do? Is Naomi Watts gonna be in The Hobbit?
No,
what?
No, it's King Kong.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool.
I mean, what was the character's name?
Anyway,
I keep wanting to say Mary, but
I don't think it's Mary. It's
something
I really can't remember.
Super ultra straightforward like that.
And Darrow.
And fucking Darrow. That was it. So anyway, bottom line is we don't fucking know until it comes out. When does it come out, by the way?
Christmas. Christmas. Thanksgiving. Christmas.
What else was it?
What?
Oh, Dark Knight. Well, we've already talked
Dark
so
Knight.
much
We're
about
not going to
Dark
talk about
Knight.
it. Let's just not talk about Dark Knight. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Basically, it's the same thing that we just said about The Hobbit.
Read all the stuff on IO9 because that's where you can get all your juice for that. There's more description apparently about Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character that just came out today. I haven't read yet. People are debating whether or not he's going to be Nightwing. That's like the big thing. Is like, who the hell is this kid and why is he a character? He's just a cop.
Yeah, I remember at one point, God damn, I can't remember anyone's name from that. The guy who's doing the new Batman movies. Chris Nolan, in an interview at one point, he said, like, what characters are going to be in the next, Batman reboot? And he was like, I don't know, but not Robin. And he was like, I promise my fans there will never be a Robin.
Yeah, which totally makes sense.
A Nightwing.
A Nightwing would be okay.
I could deal with that.
He could spin this really well. I mean, because if he's totally changing the story of Nightwing's character of Dick Grayson, because he's not called Dick Grayson in the movie. Mm-hmm. That's not his name, or at least that's not what they're calling him right now. I don't know what the story. He may have changed his name or something like that. Anyway, he's a cop, and he's like struggling with morality or something like that. And Batman is his hero or something like that. I don't know why. But it could be that they turn this Dick Grayson named character into, he's the cop and then turns into Nightwing because he wants to be Batman.
I almost wanted there to be a Robin because I think if anyone could make Robin cool, it could be Chris Nolan. He made all the other shit so cool,
Yeah, but Robin, I mean, the point of Robin is just like, he's a total, Robin will just make it cheesy. Robin would just make it, a sidekick would make it cheesy.
I think he could do a cool Robin. I think,
but not as a side. Like if it was a sidekick, I really don't think that would work in the movie because it's just like, it just makes it. It makes it a buddy film, and it's not a buddy film.
Okay,
that's what it does.
I mean,
but if he does Nightwing,
it wouldn't be. Yeah, okay. I mean, we agree. I think, but whatever.
It comes out in 18 days. Yay!
Hey,
Wow, wow.
So we're running low on time here.
It's 12:55. We can say in the comments, but we only seem to be having Ustreamer 4199637. And that's Wendy.
That's all. Yeah.
It's West Coast.
Oh yeah. Anyway, butt slut. Why'd you write that there for? We're gonna talk to you about Scream Chamber real quick.
Oh yeah, Scream Chamber. Go
ahead. Scream Chamber. Okay, what we did, because we're getting really into Ustream now. What we're doing, we've had all kinds of ideas with Ustream. Like we want to start a channel that's not just the McCracken at Midnight channel. We're gonna start doing my McCracken at Midnight on another channel that has other people who are putting programming on it. So if anyone has any ideas, by all means, shoot us a message on the Facebook group or start yelling it at us right now.
That'll be SMTV, right?
What?
That'll be SMTV?
Yes, it'll be Samurai Manicure TV. Samurai Manicure being our new Insanity film production.
Media company.
Media thing. There's two. There's A-Frame, which is for serious shit, and there's Samurai Manicure for
everything
shit.
else.
So that's the Samurai Manicure channel. But then we're like, well, what if we had another channel that we just circulated the login data all around the internet, and anyone could go up.
And that's screamchamber.com.
And that's screamchamber.com.
On our commercial. This is a chord. Wow, did you hear that? I hit that right on.
Good one.
Blah 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 blah.
They sound kind of like everybody, but everyone's coming to get me.
Yeah.
What's that song called?
That's Paranoia. No, that's Flagpole Sitta. Is that Flagpole Sitta? Yeah, that's Flagpole Sitta. By Harvey Danger.
Hey, so that's what screamchamber.com is. Now, so what we're gonna say, I think one place we're gonna post it everywhere. We're gonna post it on the McCracken at Midnight channel.
Yep. You can go. You can. It'll be posted on the website too, so you can just go to screamchamber.com.
Yeah, and then the other things at screamchamber.com, we want to maybe have a word-based part of it. We basically want to build something that anyone can say anything.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see how that develops.
And if any courts try and subpoena the information, we'll say, "Fuck you, court."
This is all these people who we don't know who they are as private property.
Yeah.
It'll be like anarchist Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so that's Scream Chamber. Check it out soon.
We'll tell you more as it goes along. See what happens with it, because we're making this shit up. It's totally running out. There is a Scream Chamber channel. You can go to it right now, but it's not playing.
It's not live right now.
Anyway, it's time for us to sing the comments.
Single person commenting. Please continue.
Yeah. I think we're going up to where it says Paps. Lovely bones did suck, I hear. Good point, Sam. But the fellowship, oh fuck, I lost my place.
Was that the trilogy? Was the arch?
Oh, so we're here. 18 days. 17 there. This is going to be rough.
What says bail?
Bail. Whatever, I can't fucking read, but it's okay because Lundy can't type very well.
That's not Lundy.
Tell a musical story. Drive Pokemon Wallace. I gotta imagine that Amari was the one who put Pokemon up there. Lick a tongue. Maybe I can just try and say the names of all the Pokemon I can remember. Just start throwing Pokemon names up there. I'll try to help.
Can you do it over?
Huh?
Can you do it over?
Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise,
Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard,
I'm already
Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree, Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill, I think it's Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Raticate,
for Nidoran, Nidorino male, Nidoking, Nidoran female, Nidorino female, Nido queen.
Male.
I don't fucking know, man. Let's go back to the comments. Damn,
Squirtle.
no dragons.
Get the fuck out of here,
Squirtle. It's 1 o'clock anyway.
Polygon. Okay.
Alright,
Woof.
guys. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. Everyone already logged off because the show ended 5 minutes ago. Commitment. Thank you. Anyway, watch McCrackenatMidnight. Tell your friends so I don't come to your house in the middle of the night and cut off your feet with this saw right here. Sew them to your wall so that when you wake up, you sit up and kick yourself. That's what I'll do to you if you don't tell your friends.
Pretty much. Alright, everyone. Good night.
Goodbye. Goodbye.